EA Sports. It's in the game.
Carlos and E continuing to cover E3. Over my shoulder, EA Sports is represented. It's been a fantastic couple days.
Yep.
I know that we had a big presser on Monday. A lot of stuff came out of it, but have you got a chance to enjoy the festivities at all?
Not yet. Obviously, the show started at lunchtime today. We've been doing a lot of reactive interviews. A lot of people got a lot of questions for all the announcements we made yesterday, whether it was MMA, online franchise mode in Madden, Team Builder for NCAA. A lot of good stuff came out in a very short period of time, and spent a lot of time talking to folks.
Speaking of Team Builder, a lot of things Tiger Online.
Absolutely.
We're talking a lot about online.
Yeah.
How important is that to the success of EA Sports going forward?
Well, obviously it's the future. I mean, we announced, as you well know, a couple of weeks ago, 500 million online game sessions have been played within the console world itself. What we did with Tiger Online is broadening our reach of anybody that's got access to a web browser can play Tiger. The ability for us to be able to enhance the game experience with things like Team Builder for NCAA and then online franchise mode, obviously for Madden, all brings, I think, to our consumers the ability to have a 365-day-a-year experience, regardless of whether you're connected to your console or not. More and more, how do we bring stuff back to the PC? Always an interesting topic on my blog, as you know. iPhone becoming a real platform, and how do we react with that? So, trying to do more things for more people in more places.
Now, the rest of these questions are all going to come from the community via Twitter, via the forums. We know you like to reach out to them, especially in the blogs. And actually, speaking of that, one of them wanted to talk about the online importance and what is EA going to look like in 5 years when they're represented here at E3. How big is online going to be played compared to what it is right now?
Well, in the console world, online is already 65, maybe as high as 70% of our consumers who buy an EA Sports game will connect and play online. I mean, it varies by game itself, it varies certainly by geographic reason, but you know, when we look back at, I look back at the old days being at E3 of Sega Dreamcast when we were delighted when we got 50,000 people worldwide to be able to connect through SegaNet. Have we come a long way? It's critically important. There is networking opportunities. We all love to win. We love the sports win. You versus me, you know, you do not live in San Francisco. The ability for me to be able to play against you connected is huge, and it is the future. 10 years ago at this show, I coined a phrase, taking gamers where gaming is going.
Sure.
And gaming, it may already be there. It's very close to this being the way that we all play in the future.
It reached out to me this past year with NCAA Online Dynasty. Obviously, Madden franchise, huge ovation of Madden franchise. How cool is that to be a part of that at the presser and to actually get that ovation? Everybody got to see that video.
Well, people loved it. The video that the team did was great because it was core, it was intense, it was humorous, and I think it really touched a nerve. And hats off to Anthony Stevenson and the team there at Tiburon that put that video together very, very quickly based on some feedback that they got like last week. So, I mean, the ability for us to be able to finally deliver what the community's been asking for with our online franchise mode for Madden, a big plus, and giving them what they want is what we're about.
And I think we're hearing a lot of that today as we talk to people here at E3. They're actually getting to feel like they're being heard and things are actually going their way. Now, you did mention a little about the iPhone. Obviously, I've got one in my pocket. Their mobile games are huge and they're growing. Talk a little bit about how EA Sports plan to be a part of such a big platform right now.
Well, there's two ways I always look at the iPhone. Is a standalone game for it like we do with Tiger, and then what applications can you do that bring together your regular life of Madden? You saw what we were planning to do in Madden. I've always thought that the ability for us to be able, if you do an online franchise in particular, and you want to be able to make sure your team's in good shape, so full standalone games, very important part of iPhone, and then applications that enhance the regular game experience, also very important.
We're going to slow down work days all over the country.
We're going to kill productivity, absolutely.
Well, we heard the big MMA announcement. We know there's nothing here at E3, but what made us jump into the cage? What made us jump into the MMA battle?
Wow, I mean, it's pretty obvious. This is one of the world's fastest growing sports. When I first came on board, I really, you know, back again to my Sega days, I remember Crave doing UFC 7 or 8 years ago, doing very well with it. I have nothing but the greatest respect for what THQ has done and what Yuke's has done as a development studio with Undisputed, but it's a big sport, it's too big, I only have one game. We believe that we bring value, we can bring a different experience. We can add authenticity to MMA with EA Sports bringing its particular style of quality, getting our fighters in like we do with Fight Night. And you know, it's not going to be something we'll try it 1 year and then back away if it doesn't work. We're very committed to mixed martial arts.
Well, being at Tiburon, I know there's an excitement level buzzing there as we're already starting to see things get underway. But being in LA for E3, Thursday night, the NBA Finals get underway. Now, I know you're in California a lot, up in San Francisco, but now Tiburon's in Orlando. Los Angeles versus the Magic. Do we have an official Peter Moore prediction for the blog?
Well, you know, here's what I'm going to say. I think this thing goes 7 games. I think it's very much about home court advantage. In particular, when you've seen the Lakers have a difficult time on the road. Orlando's been phenomenal. Obviously, Dwight Howard, Superman, has done tremendous. I don't think a lot of people would have bet they could have got past Cleveland, but they've done that and did it actually running away from them. Dwight Howard getting 40 points in that game.
Great.
You know, he is a phenomenal athlete. Very excited about this. I think it's a better matchup than Cleveland versus
I do too,
Lakers.
Sure.
I'll be there. The fact I'm here, I'll hang out Thursday night. I'll go watch the game.
So,
And
7 games and...
I think it's 7 games and Orlando pips it in the end.
Wow, look at you! Representing Tiburon.
Politically correct, if nothing else.
Yes. Well, one of the most engaging people at EA Sports and the figurehead that we all love to support, Peter Moore, we appreciate the time as
My
always.
pleasure, sir.
Talking to the community.
Thanks to everyone back there for your support of EA Sports Nation. Thanks a lot. It's in the game.
It is in the game and it's in E3.
Cheers, Eric. Thanks a lot, man.
Hey, appreciate it. All right, good
Have
stuff.
fun with this.